I got freaking paint on my sweater. It's not very chill. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gamey things and music. And that's because today's video, it's a pumped up Kickstarter. And today's pumped up Kickstarter is on I Made You a Mixtape. And this is from Massive Asterisk, who very kindly sent me this game to cover and to show you. Now, this, my friends, is a prototype. This is just a little cardboard box, okay? So, as per usual with a prototype, you know the drill. Everything is subject to change, but this is obviously not going to be the final box, okay? So, as per usual with my preview videos, I am going to give you a little overview of how the game works and help you decide whether or not this game is a good fit for you. So, let's dive into it.
Would you like to go? Would you like to go with others? Would you like to go with me?
Let's set the scene. It's the early 90s. Baggy jeans and flannel shirts reign supreme, and the unmistakable sound of dial-up internet fills the air. Dan DeLisio, the coolest kid in your neighborhood, is heading off for university and is letting you and your school friends raid his beloved music collection before he goes. In return, he's asked you to make him a mixtape for his road trip up to college. To make things more interesting, he said that the kid who makes the best mixtape will win his Quantum Leap poster signed by Scott Bakula. Rad. Man. You really want that poster? In I Made You a Mixtape, you will be competing with the other players to make the best compilation possible out of an album collection. You will be recording one track from each album. Your tape will be judged on how well it's themed, how tracks flow with each other, and the balance between the lengths of side A and side B. But what does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a closer look at how the game plays, keeping in mind, of course, that this is not an official how-to-play video. This is a general overview, although I'm covering most of the things, so. I Made You a Mixtape is played over a series of rounds, and each round is going to consist of 6 steps. Step 1, deal 3 track cards to each player. Step 2, split track cards into 2 piles. Step 3, choose which pile to keep. Step 4, return unwanted piles. Step 5, add track cards to mixtape. And step 6, moving the balance cube. We're going to take a closer look at these steps, but first let's actually start by taking a look at the anatomy of a track card. Here is a track card. You can see a few others kind of hanging around. These 2 were discarded at the beginning. They're no longer in the game. Get out of here. Here's the track card. We have the player count number, which is going to be listed right down here. I have set up for a 4-player game, as you can see. Then we have the flow, and that's kind of like this little piece of tape here. These lines show how fluidly each track flows into the next. The more smoothly your mixtape flows, the more points you will score. Next up, we have the genre, which is right here. So this one is alternative. The more tracks of the same genre a mixtape has, the more points it scores. And there are 6 genres that score points. We got pop, we got rock, we got punk, we have R&B, we have rap/hip hop, and we have alternative. Each genre is a different color. There is a 7th type of track, which is known as a wild, which I will show you right here. Boom, that's a wild, that do not score points as a set. They do, however, make a mixtape flow better and act as a wild when calculating flow scores. Okay, look at all this tape. It's wild. It's going to connect to all of them. Look at that. Woo! Then we have the balance number, and that's going to be the number in this little like hexagon. The higher the number, the longer the track is. It's important for you to keep the lengths of both sides of your mixtape as equal as possible. Normally, this isn't too much of an issue. However, Dandelicio is very particular about what tracks he wants on each side, so a perfect balance may be more difficult than you think. Let's start with the deal track cards step. You're going to choose one player to act as a dealer. The dealer will deal out 3 track cards to each player. So I'm picking myself as a dealer because I'm the only one here. Now, whoever the dealer is, it doesn't matter. They don't get any benefit, but they are going to be dealing out 3 cards to each player. Boom, boom, boom. Next, you'll split the track cards. All players are going to split their 3 cards into 2 piles. 1 pile with 2 cards and 1 pile with 1 card. Then they're going to pass those piles face down to the player on their left. So you'll take a look. Ooh, look at all of these cool things. Punk, R&B, you know how it is. So I might want to split my piles like this. Then I would take them face down and I would place them to my left. This player, everybody's going to do it. You're going to do it. They're going to do it. And they're going to do it. Okay? Then you'll choose piles. All players will pick up the 2 piles they have received from the player on their left and choose which of the piles they want to keep. Players must keep all cards in the pile they have chosen, even if they don't want them, so don't even think about switching things around. That's not very rad of you. So let's just say these are the 2 piles that I got. And they do recommend keeping them in your separate hands so you don't get them confused, or you can just kind of place them to the side, be like, okay, this is one and this is one. So I might pick this card and I'm going to keep that card. Next, you'll return the unwanted piles. So all players will return the pile they did not choose back to the player on the right, aka the player that passed to them. I'm going to place that. Maybe they want to keep that. They're going to do that. They want to keep that. They're going to do that. They want to do that. And they're going to do that. Then you'll add track cards to your mixtape. So all players are going to take the pile of track cards they chose and also the cards they received back from the player to their left and place them into their player area. This will be between 2 and 4 cards depending on how many you've kind of chosen and passed and all that stuff. When doing this, there's going to be some placement rules that we need to consider. So let's talk about placement rules. Each card is placed into one of 2 columns in the play area. Cards with balance numbers on the left are placed on the left. Cards with balance numbers on the right are placed on the right. So if you look here, I have 2 B cards, both of which balance numbers are of course on the right. A cards will be on the left. So you have to place them out on the correct side. The sides of each card must be aligned with the other cards in its column, so you can't stagger them in order to ensure flow. Each card must be placed below the previous card in the column. You should overlap them so the top edge of the card runs along the bottom of the 2 cassette spool holes of the track card above it. All right, so that would be like this. Players must place the cards at the bottom of the appropriate columns, matching the location of the card's balance number. If they have 2 or more cards that go into that same column, you can choose whatever order you want to place them at the bottom of the column. Okay, so if it works out better for you, obviously, I would want to place these like this because of the flow. I probably wouldn't want to do this because it just don't flow. So I get less points, so I would want to do this. Once a card has been placed into a column, a player is not able to rearrange it, so make sure you put it in the right spot. Finally, you will move the balance cube. Every time a player adds a card to their mixtape, they must move the balance cube the number of spaces of its balance number. For numbers on the left, you move it to the left. For numbers on the right, you move it to the right. And I just did this for left and this for right. And we're just gonna go with it. In this example, I have added 6. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh, we need some A cards, big time. If the cube would move off the edge of the track, then the player is not allowed to place that card into their mixtape and they must discard it back into the box and out of the game. You'll continue playing rounds until the deck runs out. Each player will then score their player areas as follows. Let me just show you an example. Let's just say this is what I had. Obviously, this is not a perfect example. I don't have everybody set up. Here's what you're gonna do. Whichever spot the balance cube is on at the end of the game, you are gonna score those points. In this situation, 24. For each card where its flow aligns with just one of the cards, either before it or after it, you're going to score 1 point. For each card where it aligns with both of the cards, you're going to score 3 points. And if it doesn't align at all, well, that's 0 points. This aligns with 1. That's 1 point. This aligns with 1. That's 1 point. This aligns with nothing, 0. This aligns with 1. That's 1 point. This aligns with 1. That's 1 point. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points for flow. So this one will score 0. This one will score 1. This one's going to score 3. This one's going to score 3. This one's going to score 3. And this one is going to score 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our A side is flowing. Wow. Each genre scores points depending on the number of cards in the mixtape in that genre, okay? That's both the red and the blue column combined. So let's take a look and see what we've got here. We have, and we've already scored flow. I've already showed you that. So we have a rock, a pop, wild or nothing, a punk, an R&B. Oh my God, this really is a mixtape. We have a pop. We have an alternative. We have a punk. Little punk, and R&B. So this is how this would score. We have 1 rock, 0 points. We have 1 alternative, 0 points. We have 2 pop, that's going to be 3 points. We have 3 punk, that's going to be 6 points. And we have 2 R&B, which is going to be another 3 points. So for the genre, we are getting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points. Okay, that's how you score all of the points. There is a handy dandy score pad here. This is a prototype. This is just paper. It will be much nicer in the final version. Whoever has the most points wins. And that is, I made you a mixtape. So the question is, who is this game for? This game is for fans of card games, if you love set collection, if you love the I split you choose mechanic. It's also for fans of music and of course anyone looking to inject a little nostalgia into their lives. It's easy to learn, it's easy to play, and it's fun for everyone. It's pretty quick to play also, and it would make a great addition to a game night. So, you know, if you're sitting down, you're playing a bunch of heavy games and you want to lighten things up a little, this would be a great game to pull out, especially if you have a friends group that loves the theme. A big element of this game is obviously balance and strategically creating your piles to try and get other players to leave you the cards that you want. So as an example, if I was I had way long B and I needed more A cards, I might try and split up the A cards. So if I had 2 A's and a B, I would probably do an A, B, this is a bad example, I'd probably do a B, an A, and another A. I'll probably give it to them like that because then at least guarantees that I would be getting an A card that I want. So there's some strategy in how you split your piles and kind of what you choose and what you take from other players as well. You can also try to throw off other players' balances by stacking the piles to mess with them if you want to get a little mean and have a little bit of fun. And that in a nutshell is I made you a mixtape. So if you're interested in this game, I'm going to have all the links and everything that you need to know in the description below. It's a fun little card game. It's definitely bringing that nostalgic music vibe if you made mixtapes or even mix CDs. I was more in the mix CD era, but this is still giving the same kind of vibes. So if it sounds like something that you're interested in, I definitely recommend that you check it out. And of course, make sure to watch lots of reviews, read reviews, check out the Kickstarter page to see whether or not this game is going to be a good fit for you. We love a card game here. You all know that. I think a lot of people love card games. What's not to love? Cards are amazing. But that is everything that I have for you today. Now, if you're interested, remember this game we're going to Kickstarter, but other games, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. And now I say goodbye. Rock on, my friends. little baby. I'm just a baby. It's gonna sit right there and it's gonna love it. It's gonna be great. All right, let's go. Ring. Woof. What a mess. What a wreck. Pop on. Punk on. Whatever you want. R&B on. Rock on's the only one that works, let's be honest.